Hello, I'm Anthony Best. Welcome to my channel. In this episode of More Gear Than Talent, we will be taking a look at the Omega Amp Works Obsidian amp. This is a quote unquote 2.5 channel amp. In this first video, we're only going to focus on the lead channel. I'll be doing additional videos on the crunch channel and the clean channel that I'll be following up with very shortly. This is a high gain style amp made by Omega Amp Works. I am plugging into this with a Mayones, whatever you want to call that thing, Duvell loaded with Seymour Duncan, Nazgul, and Sentient pickups. And right now the amp is just set all on 5. You'll see all the settings right there. And we're just going to turn some knobs and jump right into this. Right off the bat, amp set on all on 5s. The thing just sounds incredible. That's a sign of a good amp. If you just turn it on, put it at 5s, and then you start your tweaking from there. So we've got two knobs on the far right here. We've got a depth and a detail. The details, think of that as your presence knob. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to brighten this thing up a little bit. I'm going to turn that detail up a little bit. We can boost the treble a little bit. And when I do that, I will bring up the bass just a little bit. We're not really scooping the mids. We're just bringing up the treble and the bass. All right, now let's actually flip that. Let's pull that detail back to the middle or even turn it down just a bit. We're going to bring this depth up if you want that really dark amp sounding. This time I'm going to pull the treble back a hair a bit. We're going to boost those mids. We're going to leave that bass right where it's at. The gain knob, as you can see, is just kind of set right at 1 o'clock. We'll do some sweeping of the gain right after we check this sound out. The amp's got a really tight bass sound to it, and it's pretty versatile if you want to go to that brighter sound or come back to this darker sound. Now what we're going to do is put this kind of depth and detail back to the middle, and we're going to sweep some of this gain, take it all the way down to, say, 9 o'clock. Pull it up just a hair. All right, now we're going to crank that gain, tail all the way over to like 4 o'clock. This amp has way more gain than you'd ever need in theory, unless you're just one of those dudes who likes a ton of gain. Now we're going to get that super bright sound. We're going to leave that gain where it's at, turn this treble up, and pull out the mids just a hair, and bring that detail over to, say, 3 o'clock. All right, let's drop everything back into the 5 spot. Now, this amp also has 2 different switches. One is called a voice and one is called a shift. Both of these kind of affect the EQ characteristics. They're pretty subtle, but I think it was one of those things as I flipped them on, it was you either preferred it one way or another. So they're there for you to use. I prefer them both in the down position, but we're going to go ahead and turn the shift up. So let me just remind you what this sounds like without these on. All right, shift is going up. Shift is going down, and now we're going to pop this voice switch up. Now we're going to put them both up. All right, now we'll pop these 2 switches back down. Amp still all set at 5s. We're just going to do a little bit of the chug and kind of sweep some of these knobs. Maybe play a little lick, something in here, so we can kind of get the sense of the range of these EQs. Obviously, with each one of those, you can use the depth and the detail to fine tune the top end or the bottom end. I'm Anthony Best. This is the Omega Amp Works Obsidian amp. I will be following up with a video on the Crunch channel and the Clean channel. So if you like what I'm doing, I'll be doing a similar style of video with this KSR behind me and with the Rev 100P, which is over in the corner, maybe a dual rectifier. I may do my Friedman naked too. If you like any of that, please smash that subscribe button and leave your comments down below. I will see you very, very soon.